Hey there, I'm Christina Johnson, certified transformational nutrition coach and owner of Christina Johnson Wellness. I have had a couple of people message me and just talk to me lately and say that they, read my blog posts or they follow me on Facebook, but they just want more details about what I do as a health coach, and how I might be able to help them. And so I thought since a couple of people asked me that question, that it would be good just to kind of put it out there. So I just wanted to share a little bit with you about what I do as a health coach and how health coaching is really quite different than a lot of the diets and programs that are out there. And my program in particular is pretty different. And so I just thought I would share that with you and just give you a little bit more information. So basically what I do as a health coach is I help women who have typically been struggling with food for most of their lives. I mean, most of my clients have tried one diet after another, and most of the diets will work for them short term, but they've never found a way of eating that they enjoy, that they can stick with long term, and that gets them the results that they want. And so what I do when I'm working with these women is typically we work together for about 3 months, and I just guide them step by step through the process of trying to change their eating habits and other lifestyle habits as well, so that they can get those results that they want. And I will say most of my clients that I work with want to lose weight. That's usually the top goal for most people, but a lot of them also are just really focused on improving their overall health and want to be more preventative and proactive. Some people have some kind of health condition they're struggling with, like an autoimmune condition or, MS, things like that. Some people just have recently received blood work that shows that their blood sugar levels are a little high, or they're at a higher risk for heart disease, and they really want to kind of just take a more preventative approach to their health. And so that's what I do, is I help these people create a lifestyle approach. It's not about a quick fix diet or program, but we really want to create a way of eating that they can stick with long term. And what I have found for most people, one of the biggest obstacles that gets in people's way of sticking with eating healthy is sugar. So, how many of you feel like you have a little bit of a sweet tooth? I think almost well over half of the people I talk to say they have a sweet tooth. And if you don't have a sweet tooth, then you're probably more of like a bread, pasta, carbs kind of person. But here's kind of the truth. When I'm talking about sugar, I'm really talking about both ends of the spectrum. I'm talking about those sweet candies and cookies and things like that most people think of when they talk about a sweet tooth. But I'm also referring to those refined sugars and carbs, the pastas and breads, because they get broken down into your body really quickly into sugar molecules. And so our body treats them like sugar. So because I've seen sugar and our relationship with sugar and carbs be such a big issue and stumbling block for so many people, that's what I've kind of decided to focus my work on. And, the truth is that we often think that sugar is the problem, but in reality, it's really not that sugar is the problem. There is typically something going on within our life, some kind of imbalance going on, whether it's an imbalance in your body, in your mind, in your emotions, and that imbalance is causing us on a subconscious level to think that sugar is going to be the answer. So we start eating sugar, but it doesn't fix any of the issues. And so the different kinds of imbalances that I see for a lot of people, a big one is a nutritional imbalance, like not getting enough water or protein or being deficient in nutrients, which if you're eating, the standard American diet, you are probably deficient in a lot of nutrients. In addition to that, a lot of people also have some other kind of imbalance within their body, whether it's a hormonal imbalance or an imbalance of the good and bad bacteria in your gut. A lot of people also have some kind of lifestyle imbalance. So maybe you're not getting enough sleep, and so you're tired and you're looking to sugar or caffeine as a quick pick-me-up. Maybe you are exercising too much or too little, and that's causing an imbalance in your body, which is causing you to crave different foods. And the last kind of category of imbalances that I'll touch on are those habits and patterns and relationship we develop with food. And I will tell you, this is the one that's most overlooked by everyone and by individual people who are trying to get healthy, but also by diets and programs. And it is probably the one that makes the biggest difference. I've seen clients time and time again who were raised to not leave the table until they clear their plate. And so as an adult, they have a hard time leaving food on their plate. And so even if they're really full, they feel like they need to keep eating. And so that's a habit that a lot of people aren't aware of until we bring it up in coaching sessions. Another big pattern that people develop is rewarding themselves with food. So, you get a good grade on a test, you win a big game, you have some big accomplishment at work. And what's our first thought? Ooh, I deserve a treat. I deserve to go out for dinner, for ice cream. And the other kind of issue here in the habits and patterns is our tendency to turn to food for emotional reasons. And a lot of people tell me that they don't think they're an emotional eater, but I have hardly met one person who does not turn to food for some kind of emotion. Whether you're bored, whether you're tired, whether you're stressed, whether you're lonely, we all have those habits and patterns and emotions that cause us to turn to food. And so here's the problem. I hear this from people all the time, and I don't know, I would love to hear from you if you can relate to this, but people tell me all the time, I know what I need to do to eat healthy, but I just don't do it. And can anybody relate to that? I feel like it's a super common thought that people have. And that's the issue, is because we have all these imbalances going on that we're not addressing. We're not getting to the root of the issue of why we keep turning to food. And so when I was putting together my health coaching program, it was really important to me that we address all aspects of this. And so I created my Sugar Reset program based on the research I did of lots of other programs and my the education that I got, but also just based on my own experiences and the experiences of working with a lot of different women to see what works. And so what I've discovered is the most effective way to really to find a way of eating healthy and to be able to stick with it is through kind of a 3-part process. And so I just wanted to share what this process is with you, so you just kind of have a better idea about it. So in my Sugar Reset program, we will first look at the nutritional imbalances. So we want to make sure that you are eating lots of good quality nutrient dense foods. But this isn't about being overly restrictive or about cutting way back and saying you can never eat this whole list of foods over here. But instead, we just focus on continually adding in healthy, nutritious, delicious food. And what happens time and time again is that as you're giving your body those nutrients that it needs, you start to feel full and you start to feel satisfied with your food. You start to notice that the cravings start going away and you stop thinking about food all the time. And so it's pretty cool how just by focusing on adding in nutrient-dense foods that it just starts to feel a little bit easier and more manageable. So that's kind of the first part of the process. And then we move into the question that everyone always asks me, which is, well, how many calories should I be eating? How many grams of fat or how many carbs should I eat? And it may surprise you, but do you know what my answer is? It's usually, I don't know what's right for you, and I don't think you should track any of those things. I have not had one client yet who has counted calories. I don't think any of my clients have, maybe they started using MyFitnessPal and logging all their information, but they never maintained it for very long. It's just not a part of my program because it's not necessary. And the problem is that when you feel like you have to write down your calories and your points and your carbs all the time, that gets old. I've done that and I don't ever want to do that again. It's just, it's too much work and effort, and it just tends to be a negative kind of thing. So what do you do instead? Well, here's the amazing thing. Your body has been designed in such a way to have these hunger hormones. And these hunger hormones, when they are working properly and when you learn how to pay attention to them, they will help regulate your appetite. They will tell you when you're hungry and actually need to start eating, and when you're full and need to stop eating. And so that's the amazing thing, is that you don't need to count calories. Your body will tell you exactly how much food you need to be healthy and to maintain a healthy weight. And so that, it's pretty freeing when you can just let go of measuring and weighing food and can just eat according to what your body is telling you it needs. It's a pretty exciting feeling. So that's the second part of the process, is just learning how to pay attention to those signals again. And then the last part of this process is to address any obstacles and roadblocks that you personally are facing. This is the part of the process that most programs don't even touch on or address. And yeah, it doesn't matter, really what kind of expert you're going to, this isn't often dealt with. And this is what will give you lasting results. But the hard part though is that everybody's different. So your patterns and your habits will be different than other people's. But by just talking them through on a week-by-week basis, by talking about what's going well, what your stumbling blocks are, you will be amazed at some of the things and the patterns that come to the surface and the habits that you've developed. And then once you're aware of them, it's so much easier to be able to move past them and to start figuring out a way to make different choices. And that, I think, is where kind of the magic happens, where people find a way of eating that they enjoy and it feels simple and easy to follow. And, I will tell you, I will be the first to admit it's not necessarily an easy process to go through this. However, once you are on the other side of this journey, the results are truly amazing. And I have seen people's lives changed. And yes, a big part of it are the physical changes. People lose, a lot of weight. People's blood pressure gets into a healthy range. Their cholesterol levels drop. Their blood sugar numbers get in a better range. And that's amazing. Those results are amazing. But what I also see is people start experiencing more freedom than they felt in a long time. I don't think we always realize how much food just consumes our thoughts and our minds, and it makes us feel guilty and it makes us feel bad about ourselves, and we're worried about our bodies and how we look. And when you can go through this process and start feeling good about yourself and start feeling just freedom, it takes a weight off your shoulders. And I've seen it happen to so many people, and it's a pretty cool thing to witness. And then, the other huge benefit that I see is that people just start feeling so much more confident. And, I don't even think it's really about losing the weight, but what happens is that when people go through this process, they've made a commitment to themselves that they're going to take care of their bodies in this way. And when you do that and you honor that commitment to yourself, you just feel better about yourself. You realize that you value yourself, that you're worth taking care of. And so I've just seen so many people who just gain confidence who never really felt that they had it before. And so for me, that's the most rewarding part, is just seeing people go through this process and just come out feeling happier and more confident and just feeling like they can really, achieve whatever purpose that you're here for. So yeah, I guess I just wanted to share that this is different. This isn't like your typical diet. It's not a quick fix program or a calorie counting restrictive diet, but it's really a process of helping you really deal with the root issue of whatever's going on and dealing with that so that you can have results that last long term. And so if that sounds like something you're interested in, if you just want to kind of know more about this, I would be happy to offer you a discovery session where we can just talk for about 30 minutes. And we will just kind of go through what your goals are, what your personal obstacles are, and then just see if this program is a good fit for you or not. And I guess I just want to kind of conclude by saying that just above all, I feel like you need to know that you are worth taking care of yourself in this way. You are worth the time, the money, the effort that it takes to focus on your health. And when you do that, when you take care of yourself, you are able to give so much more to your family and to your friends. You are able to impact the people around you and help them become healthier. And again, it's amazing to see the ripple effect that spreads when you take the time and the intention to do this for yourself. It just spreads to other people, and that's pretty cool to see as well. So as I wrap up, if you think this would be helpful for other people, would you be willing to share this for me? It's just a great way for me to kind of spread what I'm doing with other people and to be able to help more people, because that's ultimately what my goal is. So I would love, if you have any questions or any comments, feel free to just write them below, whether you're watching now or if you're watching the replay, and I'll come back and answer any questions that you have. And if you're interested in talking with me personally in the free discovery session, just send me a message or comment below and we will set up a time to talk. So I hope you are having a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you again later. Bye.